What's good, world? Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. Signing on for Two Gentlemen and a Turntable, Fireside Chat, Bad Vic, Los Yesterdays, Mike Noriega, Noriega Records. Stay tuned. Jeff Benjamin's joining soon. Our guests are joining. This is going to be a real good one, man. Appreciate y'all joining. Jeff Benji, go ahead and send that request. Appreciate all y'all joining. I see you, Curtis Simpson Jr. That's my man from Portland. What up?
Yo, hi. I see Curtis is in watching.
Curtis is definitely in the building.
Curtis is in the building, man.
We'll go ahead and kick this off. I see we got folks joining. Looks like we got Sparks. I want to welcome an extremely special edition of Two Gentlemen and a Turntable. This is my co-host, Jeff Benjamin. Together, we're Two Gents and a Turntable. Super excited. Fireside Chat. Bad Vic, Los Yesterdays. Mike Noriega, Noriega Records. You might have heard me talk about this on the live stream earlier. This is not an interview. This is a fireside chat. We are coming different, and we've got some really cool themed questions. We've got a lightning round. The opportunity to get to know these gentlemen, our special guests, a little bit better. That kind of comes at the end. But that's essentially what we got going on here. This is a really big, exciting thing for me and Jeff Benjamin to be doing this. Interviews are not part of two gentlemen and the turntable, but the fireside chat is something that we welcome when the opportunity's right and there's alignment. So we're going to have our special guest joining soon. I'm going to go ahead and spin some cuts real quick while we wait. Got a special one. I can't wait for this one. I need to know where I'm going. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you taking time to join and be with us. Special edition, Two Gentlemen and a Turntable. This is cold, right?
Okay.
If and when I find someone again, I hope I won't have to. I had to disappear. I had to get my little black book.
Mom joined.
What happened?
My mom's in the building too.
That's very special. Ma, we're happy to have you. Appreciate you joining.
I told you. Big fan of Waxvillain. I see you got the Soul Movement record in the background.
I had to, man. I had to.
Love that record.
I am so glad I got that. It's a good listen. It's a good listen. My man, Colorful World of Vinyl, has joined. Thank you. Couple more ticks while we wait for our guests. Spin another cut real quick. This is heavy. I'm feeling this. This is the lollipops. We're going to find out about the lollipops.
Oh, been hearing rumors about the lollipops. It's nice.
FOS Dave's in the house. Mike Noriega's in the building. Let me go ahead and send that request. All right, we'll invite Vic. Let's see here.
There he is.
Mike, what's going on?
What up?
Hey, Mike.
What's going down?
This is it.
So I just sent a request to Vic.
All right. There
Wow.
he is. Bad Vic.
Very epic.
Wow.
Very.
What up, fellas?
What's going
So
on?
I just want to personally say thank you so much for making time to meet with us for this fireside chat on Two Gentlemen and a Turntable live stream. I want to introduce Jeff Benjamin. That's my co-host. This is so exciting for us because a year ago, this was kind of a thing for us. And we are right now and have the opportunity to talk to you and kind of use this platform to allow our friends that love the music that you make so much to learn a little bit more about you. I wanted to make this a little different than, say, a traditional interview. That's why I don't like calling it that. But I really am about engagement and wanting to make sure that fans are able to connect and really find a true appreciation for not just what they see on a physical copy of vinyl, but the work that's done below the surface, the blood, sweat, and tears that's put in the studio and everything that kind of goes into that. So we'll go ahead and kind of kick off some questions, but just so everyone knows real quick, I think there's about 8 or 9 questions that we've scheduled to ask. We might not get through them all. The most important thing is the lightning round at the end, and that's going to be a really fun kind of exercise where our guests are going to have to answer 10 questions really quickly, and this is a great way to get insight into who these folks are, different necessarily, what we know about them as a musician. So for me and for everyone else, I'm always kind of watching Noriega Records on Instagram, and I saw that there's a special release coming up from Vic and the Vatones. But before we talk about that, I'd really like to have you guys kind of explain how y'all connected, when the relationship started, and kind of what's going on right now with you two.
I just want to give a shout out. Dick and your mom, 88, just joined. Seriously.
Welcome.
That stuff up.
Welcome.
That's great, man. Hey,
Nori,
good.
go ahead. You cover that one, brother.
All right. I mean, Victor and I we did porno for years, and just kidding. I mean, he had me going with the dick and the mom thing, but no, man.
He let me be the big spoon, though.
I didn't know this show was going to go this route.
Yeah,
I didn't either until Dick and your mom got on here. It's like,
Took a
is
turn
this a
for the
family
worse.
show?
a family show. No, me and Victor, we met through Gabe Roth, and actually it was Ryan from the Funk Freaks that said, "Hey, man, we need some backups for my buddy's band, Los Yesterdays. You want to come through and maybe do some singing?" They were doing some small stuff, like some small little venues and shit, and I went and just showed up there, and me and Vic pretty much hit it off right away because we both were songwriters, and Vic kind of more or less came up with the name Batons. I won't take credit for it. I think he was, when we were trying to think of a name for the butcher shop stuff, I believe, right? And he was like, "Hey, man, how about the Batons?" And obviously the Vatos would have been too cliche, so we went with the Batons. And
Love it.
yeah, it was pretty much his. But being involved with him it's always been real easy, and just a solid ass musician, solid ass creator, writer, and he's definitely got a mad ass talent, man. The dude's just incredible.
Well, I wish I could say the same, brother. I really do. I'm kidding. No, it's me and this
Shots
dude.
fired.
Like it's like coffee and cream, baby. It just mixes so well.
Yeah, man.
Very good. Very good. So the next question is going to be for Vic, and this is something I think everybody wants to know. I've been curious, and really kind of to start before this question, I was first introduced by the 45 y'all put out last year on Penrose. And again, this kind of soul scene was new to me. And I just remember the very first time that I heard you sing, and I just was like blown away. Super impressed. I said, this is a bad man. Come to find out, you go by the name Bad Vic. So tell us how you got that name Bad Vic.
Well, first of all, I want to say this. Thank you guys for having us on here. I follow the show. It's great. I love all the stuff that you guys are doing. It's super, super, super fucking cool, man. Real cool shit. You guys do some deep dives, some real rare shit. I always learn something.
Wow.
So thank you for kicking down the knowledge and spreading the love and the music of these artists who have not been nearly heralded enough. And you guys are real historians in that regard. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, because we couldn't be here doing the stuff that we do if it wasn't for people touting what came before us. We stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So now let me get stupid again. Bad Vic. I think most people would tell you that it's because of my enormous ego that I named myself Bad Vic. But I actually did not name myself. What had happened was, ladies listening out there, so I had a friend with Benny's situation, right? And we knew it was a friends with Benny's thing, but she wasn't telling me the truth, and she had feelings for me, right? So then I ended up starting dating another girl, and she got mad and hurt, and I was sorry about that because we were friends, right? And then she had another friend named Vic, and so whenever she would talk about Vic, she would say, "Oh, well, Vic was this and blah blah," and then they'd go, "Oh, which Vic? Bad Vic or good Vic?" And needless to say, I wasn't good Vic.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And so then I had a band called Bad Vic and the Good Intentions that I came up with, and I was like, well, that's a good play on words, you know, because it was kind of a reggae, kind of quasi reggae thing, and I'm like, oh, Bob Marley and the Wailers. And I'm like, you know, Vic and this. I couldn't come up with the batons. That's too clever. And then I was like, oh, Bad Vic, Good Intentions. So that's the story.
That's it. Wow. Bad Vic.
Yeah,
Not good Vic.
Vic's on a
Not the
couple.
good one.
Vic's on a couple of them. Then I also use the name the Rolas. The Rolas is I did some T-shirts on that, and it all came from everyone calls the records, like if you're a homie, you say, hey man, let me see your rolas. Like back in the day was like, that was the thing. Like you got rolas, like rolas are basically 45s. And a lot of people confuse it with albums. It's not, it's a slang term, but we came up with a T-shirt slogan for the Rolo candies. And instead of it saying Rolos, we just put it rolas. And we use that same font that they use. My son vectored it out, and we sold out on that T-shirt right away. And it was just like a real big hit. So I said, well, why not call the group name the Rolas, you know, like whoever it is, you know, like we have 3 or 4 different artists as the Rolas, but Vic has sung on some of those as well. And it's just, you know, it's basically either me singing or it's Vic singing with me, or maybe one other guy jumps on like David Paul or somebody else that we use. We just use the Rolas. And it's pretty common. That was a big common thing in the 60s, like, you know, these group names like the Cadets, the Jacks, and you know, like the Robins, they were all mixed members, and they all just kept changing in circles because there was no other better singers. So we all just kind of jumped around like a team, you know.
And shout out to Dave Paul Rodriguez and Mikey Rodriguez.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Two bad mofos.
Yeah, definitely follow them. David Paul Music. I don't know if Mike Rodriguez is on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he is, but they're both the Rodriguez brothers to us. But they're really great musicians. I think David Paul will be performing with Los Yesterdays on Friday night. So yeah, man.
Wow, very exciting.
They're on a lot of our records as well.
Okay. While we're on the topic of names, Mike, I wanted to kind of ask you, where does the inspiration, how do you come up with some of these names like the Lollipops? You know, we talked about the Baton.
I love that name.
It's and really it like kind of when I see it, the text, it kind of shines like a diamond, right? It stands in bold.
The way I close this door here, Christian. The way I came up with that was kind of funny because it was an old label. I remember chasing this record, Burnt Toast and Coffee, for years, you know, and couldn't find it. And then there was another one that was like Fried Eggs and Ham was another group that I was always looking for, but those are cool names. I came up with this group name called Terrence Bacon and the Hotcakes. The record is out on vinyl. It's been out for about 15 years. It's on this label called Big Breakfast. Karen on Big Breakfast.
Getting hungry already.
It all came from this one. The whole bottom line came from this first record I had, which was the candy bars on candy sticks. And I really wanted to call this record with Alina and the candy sticks. But she saw the label and she saw the candy canes and she's like, the candy sticks, like really, like, you know, it was really the candy bars that but the label was candy sticks. It was the candy bars on candy sticks was the old record. But I told her I want to do like Alina and the candy sticks. It's just kind of cute. She goes, it is, but you know, it's got candy canes. And then Roland looked at it. He goes, yeah, it's kind of Christmassy. So I just said, you know what, man? Well, what's the next best thing? Is why not just use the lollipops? And you know, people are messaging, man, you spell lollipops wrong. It's like I can't spell it wrong. It's a group name. You know, it doesn't matter. But it's really been kind of catchy. And the nice thing is it's Alina and the lollipops. Because you know, Alina and lollipops, it kind of like it rolls together good with your L's. You know.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was like kind of like a cutesy thing to do, and it works. You know, a lot of people like it.
I love it. I love it. And that's great because those are the things I always think about, you know, inspiration for songs, names, where it came from. Sometimes there's just different scenarios that lead to things and there's cool stories behind it. So I'm glad you got the chance to share that. One of the more important things I want to cover, and I think what everyone wants to know for those that aren't like living on Instagram like a Waxvillain does, what is next musically for all of you? What have you been working on? What's a release that we can look forward to? Mike, I want to talk to you about some of the snippets that you've posted because they're very heavy records. They're it's like, you know, every time I hear something new, whether it's you, whether it's Vic, the bar just keeps getting raised. And you know, when I think about what the work that you've done in the past that's come out, they're Grand Slam records. These stand the test of time. There's so many different things you're doing when you release these, but let's just kind of start with what's coming out next. Let's start with Vic first.
Oh, I can tell you this. I can tell you this much. Noriega got like 70 records coming out this year with Gabe Roland. Those every time I turned my head, there's another record these guys did. Like, you guys just did that like in the 2 minutes that we stopped talking. So be prepared. There's going to be a torrent of music coming from Noriega Records. And but I mean, as far as like a funny story about what's coming out soon between Nori and I and on Butcher Shop with Dr. Zodiac is we did a couple of like cold-blooded tracks with, of course, with my partner Gabe Roland. So in case for all you people out there in internet land, Roland and I are the Abuelitos. We're a songwriting team.
Yes.
And we write songs for, you know, ourselves and for other people as well. So these songs are songs that we wrote with and for Nori and Dr. Zodiac. And they wanted something that was kind of old school rola shit, but a little bit new school gangster kind of topics. So we did a song called Scary Cholo about a guy who's trying to leave the life and they find out about it. And you gotta check out that story because it's a great story. I'm proud of that one. It brings a tear to your eye. What happens in that? It's like a little movie. Yeah. And then the B side of that is about this one dude who gets out of the pinta, right? The jail. He gets out of jail and he goes to visit his old lady, but she's hooked up with this new dude now and like successful and got a nice house. And he pulls up to her house and he's just sitting there going like, what am I going to say to her? And, you know, because he wants to just go up there and go, hey, I'm out, baby. Come on, let's go. And she's like, fool, I'm married now. And he's like, no. You know, so he's sitting there going, well, I know I was gone for a minute and now I'm back. But the song's called Who You Gonna Blame? Because he's having a hard time blaming himself for anything he did, right? So he's going to be like, who are you going to blame? Am I going to blame her for, you know, betraying me? Or is it my fault because I got caught up? But that's a song coming out on that's a 45 coming out on Butcher Shop that we got going on. Wow. We just did a Sunny and the Sunliners cover that's going to be coming out as what is that, the A side, right? That's coming out on
Noriega. We have that for about 8 weeks. It's been in press now for about a little over 3. It takes about 12 to get it all done. So probably about 8 to 9 weeks we'll have that one. the pressing plants are super busy. It's usually like 16 to 17 unless you're pushing a lot of product, which we are. Well, we get like 12 weeks. But most places are like 16 or more. I actually know places are like 6 months to get a record. The bad thing about Scary Cholo is we had it pressed up here and we had the record sent to us back in, God, I want to say it was, November or something like that. And we were waiting through on Christmas and nothing came. It was supposed to be like, Vic's Christmas present. Here it is. There it
Well,
is.
it's just like every Christmas growing up, brother. I got nothing.
The record is here. They sent 500 units. We had 400 black wax and 100 colored, like we usually do. And they're just the tracking. It stops somewhere in Finland and it never moves. We're gonna press Germany, and we used the normal people we used at the time. And the guy sent me the tracking. I ended up getting paperwork last month about loss to do what do you call those, like an insurance claim on them. So the plant's repressing them now. As far as I know, from the last time I talked to the plant, they said that the records were done and they were just going to ship them out. I want them to ship DHL because I want to be able to track them. I can't have this get lost again. But the thing cool is if they ever do show up, we'll end up getting the merchandise. But it would just put 500 more records in the planet. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I'm pretty sure it's more sales. But you know what? It's really hard to say. It could have been stolen. And somebody probably got the boxes and was like, "What's this? Records." They just threw it away. They break.
Yeah, because if anybody had some hot records they were trying to purloin you or pawn off, you would have them right now.
Oh yeah. If I saw my Discogs or somebody was
found
selling
them for sure.
I'd be able to like make a police report and say these shit's stolen. But nothing's turned up, man. It's just like they're lost at sea. Maybe
and Nori, tell them just name 5 more records you got coming out right now, because we only got 45 minutes, dude. So just
another couple records. Me and Vic are working on one. It's kind of like a silent baby right now. We're not releasing the title, but it just came out amazing. I was actually engineering it today with my son. I'm teaching him how to move and dice these Pro Tools sessions. Man, it came out great. I'm always happy with what he does. We also have a record coming out on Dunham. That's in press. That's part of Daptone. That's Tommy. Shout out to Tommy Brennick. That's his label.
Yeah.
Me and Vic are songwriters on that one. It's called The Stranger. Really great record. Probably the best record I think that Victor's ever sang in his life, in my opinion, so far. Although Scary Cholo,
and that was my scratch track. And me and Tommy were like, "No, you're not changing." I'm like, "Man, I could." All right. But that track is actually Charles Bradley's last record, and the track is called Black Velvet, and it's an instrumental. Yeah. And Nori took that song and came up with some stupid backup vocals that are just haunting.
I know that track off the Black Velvet album.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, we did it, and let me tell you, we did it justice. And because I ain't know Charles Bradley, and I ain't even trying to go there. I'm just saying, we did it justice. And Tommy gave us his blessing, because we know that's hollowed ground, right? We got to tread lightly, And it was such a huge honor for me to sing that song and over that track that was, because I was a fan of all these fools before I started playing with them, Yeah. So it's like a dream come true for me. It's like a dream come true. So I can't believe that. I also sang backups on James Hunter's
I saw
record.
that.
Yeah, and that
what
was a huge thing for me too, man. I'm in pig shit heaven, man.
I saw you got credits on this.
Yeah, we're on Reina Records. Shout out to Jason Joshua. That's some tracks that me and Roland did. I'm on both of them.
No, on James Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just know I'm on the record. I got it. It says my name on there and everything.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
With all the stuff that I've seen, there's a few records that really stand out. Time is kind of a constraint, so I want to focus on maybe just 2. Tell us a little bit about the collab with Little Willie G.
The collab with Willie G. Oh, that's that one with Ray. What it was is Ray, he just needed some artwork at first. He needed he's like, "Hey man, make me the label. I like how you make labels. I really want something old school, so go straight up like 1970 or 60s." I go, "How about I go 1964 and older, and then you decide if you like it." Because the song, after I heard it, it sounded about 67 or 66. So he's like, "Yeah," and I talked to Willie about it, and Willie's a friend. Um, he's doing a couple projects with me right now. Willie's one of those kind of guys that once he likes the way you get down, like he just gets down with you. If you don't like how you get down, then he just never deals with you. And I guess that's the case for a lot of people. But that record was this guy Ray Lopez, real nice guy that wanted to get me to do the artwork. I did the artwork for him. Then he wanted me to roll a video, and he really wanted to license the music correctly. He wanted the artist to get paid, and he thought Willie might have owned it. So I called Willie and kind of collaborated with him to get him the correct license, because the music's actually owned, I believe, by this guy named Roy Marquez, and
Okay.
Willie controls their portfolio, their music portfolio. So I was able to get a license through Willie G from the Midnighters to get the song released with, you know, the best master he could get, which he owns the acetate. So he had a guy like, you know, re-clean up all the little pops and ticks and get it the best he could without losing the quality of the audio.
Sure.
But what it was.
Okay. And I need to know about the inspiration for Knick Knack. Is that Arlene Page?
Yeah, Knick Knack was a girl that used to be in the neighborhood. She was what we call a hood rat, and she used to bounce around from guy to guy, and she used to say, "Knick Knack, paddywhack, can a girl get bone?" So I thought, flip flop. Why not flip flop it and put a song? And I couldn't get any girl to sing it because it's a little bit nasty, a little bit naughty. But the girl that sang it, she's like, I get it. Like, you know, women's sexual drive matters is what I think. But she said it a little differently.
Okay.
She's a sweetheart too, sweetheart.
Sweet
Not
lady.
anything like the song
No,
content.
no. But she knew it because I made the song as clean as I could. There's nothing. There's no, you know, no F bombs. There's no. It's
And
just.
trust me, if you know Noriega, it takes a lot to keep it that clean.
Yeah. So it's a family-friendly record we're talking
Yeah.
about. Right?
It's friendly enough in
For
this.
some families, maybe.
Yeah, it's looking really deep, man. It's not too bad, but it came out great. It's for the guys are from the Budos band. Have you guys heard of the?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so the guys from
heavy
the Budos,
hitters right there.
Eller and Carbonella and Chris Piano are guys that were involved in the track. Really good writers, really good music arrangers. There's no horns on this track, so it's not a Budos track, but it is their like kind of little private deal that they're doing on the side. They send me
Sure.
about 7 or
It's
8.
nasty, but not horny.
Yeah, man. But the Budos bands, they're good guys. They're crazy if you see them live. You know, they have a great live show. One of the best live shows to ever see. I think Vic, you went with me that one time, right, to go see them. They're
Oh,
crazy badass band.
Yeah.
They're in the top. You know, they have like 12 or 13 albums. They're just like, it's Tommy's deal. You know, and they're just insane instrument. I'm just very blessed to be involved with same musicians like them. You know, I'm very blessed to be involved with Vic and Gabriel Rowland. I'm very blessed to be with you guys today. You know, like it's really cool to be on the show.
And let me dovetail on that quickly, Noriega. I hate to cut you off.
Yes.
I'm sorry. But speaking of Tommy, certified badass. Everybody know Tommy TNT Brennick. Working with him and Trish Toledo, and of course, you know, the Abuelitos. When I say working with, it's the Abuelitos working with Trish Toledo. We got a slamma jamma coming out, a la Enrico Marconi with vocals, and it's got a B-side with that one. I forget her name. The girl who whistles that they just came out with that record.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
She does the B-side on that whistling. Ora. You guys, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. It's coming out on Dunham like pretty soon.
Man.
Oh no, actually no. I correct myself. It's coming out on Now Again. Egon's label. It's coming out on Now Again. Yeah, that's a fat track.
That was one of my questions that I wanted to ask you, because, you know, everyone knows about Penrose, right? And we see Noriega Records. But one of the things I caught early was you all did, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 45 with Now Again. And I
Yeah,
was
3.
notes and I saw that once again, Gabe Rowland is touching, another project. It's always great when Gabe does stuff, and that's
He's
something
all over the place.
I champion because I want folks to understand his greatness and the impact that he's making, on the soul scene. But how did the Now Again thing come about? Kind of moving around.
So Roland has been friends with Egon for like a long time.
Okay.
And kind of pool party friends or kids play, stuff like that.
Wow.
And then we got our the Los Yesterdays thing started. And we were already going with Egon and gonna put some stuff out there, but then all of a sudden, Tommy heard about us and Gabe Roth, and then that whole Penrose thing happened, but it's a real cool deal because everything's non-exclusive. Everybody's real chill. Ain't nobody greedy in this industry or in part of the industry, right?
Right.
So we get to go spread our love everywhere. But Egon's a fantastically genius person, like everybody I'm blessed to work with, and it came about very organically. And Egon loved our stuff. We played last New Year's Eve, not this last one, actually, the pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic New Year's Eve over at Mario C's house, because they know Mario C, the producer, Beastie Boys, and we performed over there for him, and he really loved the macrame stuff, right?
Yeah.
It was his daughter really dug it and stuff. But yeah, no, Egon's awesome. We're going to be putting out more and writing more stuff with Trish. We're actually writing stuff with the Brian Ponce and Adriana Flores from the Altons. We got some tracks that are going to be coming out more than likely on Now Again Records.
Okay.
We got some really hot 70s style, like soul, late 60s, early 70s style soul stuff coming out with them. So the Abuelitos got our little fingers in everybody's pies right now.
All over
and
the place.
We're just happy to have access to the bakery now.
Can I ask a question? Because you kind of brought up when
you've been talking too much, dude.
No, I'm asking Waxvillain because I know he's got an agenda. But like one of the things that I thought was kind of cool, you mentioned how when Los Yesterdays started, and I saw a story about how that song "Time" came about. Can you tell how that happened? So
one of my talents is writing in the car, like right before a session, right? It's just
creative zone.
For some reason, I can zone out on driving, and my brain I hit the alpha state that you get when you're in between sleep and awake.
Yeah, well, it's that Southern California traffic, right?
Yeah, well, I just, I want to die like my grandfather, asleep while all the passengers are screaming in the car. Now, I kind of zone out and I can be creative, I can come up with stuff. So the way Time happened is we were having I think it was our first barbecue at Tommy's house, and all the heads are there, the Budos band, we were supposed to meet Gabe Roth for the first time, and Frankie Dukes was there, and it was like all these heavy hitters, and if they're like, hey, look at these little Mexicans we found. No, I'm just kidding. So they were just telling them about us, and so we, Roland sent the track out. So while I was driving, he goes, hey man, I just wrote this, and we were on our way to the barbecue. And while I'm driving, I'm listening to the song, and then I'm like, so I came up with some parts, and then we go into the barbecue, and they're like, hey man, they're listening to our stuff, Mr. Yesterday, and stuff like that. And they're like, you got anything else? And Roland's like, well, I just wrote something, but Vic hasn't written any lyrics to it. And I'm like, oh, contraire, mon frere. I came up with something in the car. And it was about a 20-minute ride, and I sang it just like it is on the record.
That's awesome.
It didn't change. That's why circumnavigate's still in there, because I couldn't think of a better word.
That's like catching lightning in a bottle right there. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's been a trip, man. Riding with all these people, like, you know, Nobody's Clown was written in like 7 minutes, like
Really?
just so fast, just like it was. We pulled it out of the ether and threw it out, and it was there. And then
Wow.
we took it to Roth, and Roth is like, who doesn't ever like anything because he's so damn picky and so good at it. He knows what gold is, and he sat there and he just, with his back turned to us like this. He listened, and he turns around. That's a good track, man. Let's cut it. It wasn't even supposed to be in this group of songs. It wasn't even supposed to be in this session. And then it was the last song that we brought in. We stuffed it into the session, and then the label's like, yo, we want to put this out.
That's so cool.
Wild. You know, I didn't really focus a lot on what was one of the big 35 2021. Nobody found. And I know a lot of people have heard it. I know the video's got lots of views. But what I'd really like to know, because that song might have come together.
Over 700,000 I saw today.
Yeah, and only under 2 months.
That's going to be at 1 million views pretty soon before we know it. That's crazy.
Hey, let's hope. Hey, go watch Nobody's Clown. Everybody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, everybody.
So,
Vic, tell us a little bit about El Triste. Tell us how the video came about, because I just think that the level of effort was high on this, and the impact that you all made with that 45, it put a dent in the ceiling. It was one of those records that kind of left the park, and I feel like everyone around was like, hey, you hear that? That sounds good. But I really want folks to kind of understand about El Triste, kind of the vibe with the video. Anything you can share about that?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up like this, brother, and I'll do it quick because I know we're running out of time here. But basically what happened was, you know, I had a bad relationship. Somebody broke my heart, and as happens when I'm brokenhearted, I write. As a matter of fact, when I wrote Mystery Yesterday, before that, so I had my heart broken, and one of our close friends went to roll, and he goes, "Dude, get this guy in the studio now." That's when he write, you know. So anyway, I was brokenhearted. I had this song. I had lyrics that I thought were stupid. I'm like, you know, badly, gladly. Oh, come on, man, some Dr. Seuss Mother Goose shit. That's terrible. But went to go work on it with Tommy. I looked. There was the second sheet of lyrics I looked at, and it just bam. 7 minutes later, I wrote the chorus. Done. Bam. And then so then we're supposed to go on tour. Penrose launches. We have our 45. We have our merch. Everything's good. We're going on tour. March. Pandemic. Lockdown. My buddy, director from the East Coast, stuck here. So I can't fly back home. Got 2 weeks worth of clothes. Filmmaker was touring with his documentary. Has to get a place out here and figure out how he's going to make money. Because that's all he does, right? So this is his bread and butter. He's an independent filmmaker. We're bumming out that both our shit got canceled. He already said he's not doing videos. He's never gonna do them again because he's done a couple. And I said, we were just stuck here, and I go, hey man, check out this idea I got for a video. I saw El Triste on Instagram. I was brokenhearted. He's brokenhearted. Obviously, he's El Triste. And then we look alike. People have actually said that. They thought that the clown, that he was made to look like me. No. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. I look like him. He doesn't look like me. I look like him.
Yeah.
And I saw his little sad face, and I saw my own face, and I came up with a treatment, an idea for a video, and I told Dave, I go, hey, man, I got this idea, and then I told him, and then I showed him El Triste, and he's like, dude, you got to let me do this. And I'm like, let's do it. I think he just said that because we needed the money. You know, so then I pitch it to the guys at Penrose, you know, my band, and everybody's like, yeah, Papa, see, that's kind of dumb, dude. Like, nah, you know,
No way.
And I'm like, for real? But they didn't know what I had in my head.
They didn't have the vision.
They didn't know what I had in my head. So I financed it myself, and then me and Dave worked on the screenplay. He came up with the Piñata Bull idea and made that Piñata Bull, by the way. Never having made a puppet before. But he's Toy Raider, so shout out to Dave Brock at Toy Raider. and he made those 45 adapters too, because he's a toy maker. He makes toys, so he figured out how to make a bull, and he figured out how to make and the rest is history.
That from a marketing standpoint, I mean, between the adapter, releasing it on Valentine's Day is an ode to like the lonely hearted.
Thank you.
Mean, the video,
I had to push for that.
Oh, that was a strong move right there. But like the video was like, I didn't know they made videos like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's like something you would have seen on MTV back in the day. It's like, that's some high quality stuff, man. So hats off to you.
Let me just say, one of my buddies, when I wrote that song, Jay was in the room, and Jason Yates, he's played with everybody, brilliant keyboard player. He was in the room when we played that. He was jamming with us, and he goes, "Yo, man, puppets and clowns, isn't that a bit much?" I'm like, have you seen the gente lately, brother?
It's a fantastic video. I mean, I watched it multiple times. I absolutely loved it. I always focus on the attention to detail, and I just
thank you.
Great, I really did. Awesome, and kind of getting that insight on it. It means so much to me, and I'm sure a lot of our friends that are watching will kind of value that, right? I always think.
Well, thank you, man. I'm so proud of that, because that was my vision that I executed on. And the guys came back to me and said, "Dude, you fucking killed it, man. You killed the game." And it meant so much to me, you know, to have people who were questioning the idea go, "Dude, you're killing it." And, you know, my bandmates, my peers, my colleagues, and my heroes, these people I respect so much. And they liked what I did. And, you know, now I just want the credit card so I can do whatever I want.
Do you have any visions of wanting to do another video or something like that after you kind
of, you know, everybody's asking me that. I'm like, man,
what's next?
Slow your roll, guys.
Are you one and done?
Yeah,
you one and done on the videos?
Yeah. What am I, Cecil B. DeMille over here? I ain't got that kind of money.
Hype Williams.
Yeah. I love it. Before we start with the lightning round, I wanted to give the opportunity to kind of give us an update on shopping Noriega Records. I know things you were telling me was possibly like a link tree, and then you talked about some of the stuff that's going to be available on streaming services. Can you just give some insight on that so our friends can know where to look on streaming services and how to kind of buy records from you?
Yeah, most of our stuff are listed under our label as Noriega Records. I mean, right now we're just starting out with that digital platform, so the link tree's in play right now. I'm going to start posting that on my own wall, so if you want to follow like 45 RPM Records or Noriega Records, all one word, or if you want to just go to our website, we're always trying to add more and more, obviously more music, but NoriegaRecords.com is pretty much where we sell our stuff. But the main play is in the future here is just to get everything. It's kind of tricky when it comes to Spotify and Apple Music, or obviously iTunes. You almost have to have like you're the artist versus you're the label. My son was telling me it's a lot easier to follow an artist than it is to kind of follow a label, but they're starting to format it a little differently too now. So everything's
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. We're pretty much on most digital platforms right now, but we're trying to get involved into not only with the link tree, but trying to make it just super easy where people can just hear everything. But and then we're waiting for licenses for some things because there's cover songs, and then there's songs that I wrote that I'm remixing. It's just a lot going on, but it's all coming into play, and everybody will get their ears open and knowledge pushed towards them in the future as we just keep growing,
So, I mean, you're putting out so much good music. It would be a shame if more people couldn't hear it. That's the only thing. So, like, with Bandcamp, and I'm sure you probably explored this, though. I mean, they have, I think that might work good for your, with the label and the artist setup. And, I'd love to see that where I could just, subscribe or purchase the whole discography on Bandcamp.
It's coming. DistroKid, we went through them to try and get, like, a lot of the stuff just kind of on the main platforms. Like, you can go on Instagram and type in, not on the outside, Noriega and the Vatons, and then you can add it to your story. There's stuff like that. But that's not enough. The thing is that when you start to launch these records, you got to be real careful especially with cover songs. If you're starting to, like, put stuff out digitally, You got like DistroKid offers a direct license for cover songs. You're like a lot of my own stuff, my own writing. It's easy, just put it up there and it goes right up real quick. But license whole the thing. A lot of these publishers can't be found, and they're having a trouble with a few of them right now. Like True Love is not up there by Dove. It should be up there, but that record had no publishing at all on it. Like no one, so unearthed. It's like, you know, it's a $2,000 record. So unearthed. No one's ever figured out like who is Shirley Lake, who was her publisher. There's just nothing, no information on it.
Well,
And
that's we were talking to Friends of Sound Dave last time. He was talking about the Preservation Project, and he said, I mean, I don't know anything about how they do this, but it was interesting to me that, you know, they don't even know where these artists are or how to track them down. So he said that they have to escrow the the royalties.
You could do that.
Interesting.
You could do that for the mechanicals, and that's what Harry Fox has done for years, and that's what these companies are doing. Even DistroKid, they're using third-party companies that will escrow the money, so that way when someone does come to town, go, hey, bro, like, that's my song. I need my money.
They come out.
Here, man, don't kill us. It's right here. Here's your money. You know, stuff like that. Very. There's a minimum royalty for each song that you put out. So if you sell a song on iTunes, there's a minimal writer's credit royalty. It's due to every artist, no matter what. It's like a 9-cent royalty. It's got to be paid to the artist up front, the guy that wrote the song. Now, a new master, that's totally different. You know, it's a new composition, but the writer still gets his writer credit and always will, because publishing is forever. It's not for a week, not for a year. It's for life.
Wow. Okay. Very, very cool. I love those details because, again, that's stuff that we don't get to see. And I think, you know, one of the things you and I talked about, Mike, was I'm asking you about all these old records and stuff like that. And we're talking about how they're just out of reach. You know, the juice isn't worth the squeeze for, you know, just a silly collector like me to drop $2,000. That's not in my plans. But you're taking, you know, these lost gems. And it's almost like, you know, like I said, you're like this movie producer where you're kind of envisioning who could sing it, right? Who could play the instruments and almost kind of up it. Because every time you've done that, I've always said it sounds better than the original. So
that's a compliment, man.
Yeah. To kind of learn about that publishing and the royalties, I think that's really cool insight for our friends to kind of understand, because that's all in the equation. That's all kind of the iceberg that's below the water that we never have visibility to. And
I made a record, and Vic Benavides was the writer, and I didn't pay his ass. I could already hear the door like knocking. Where's my money?
He pays me in vinyl, by the way. He pays me in vinyl. No lie.
it be like that sometimes.
It's like why even exchange money? Doesn't even exchange hands.
And you know,
these 20 motherfucking records right now.
He'll bring me a big old stack. Ooh, is this enough meat right here? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and take your meat.
That reminds me, Suge Knight never used to pay the artist.
I always look at him. Let me see how good I did. If I didn't do so good, then he'll be like $50. if I did a good job, or if I do multiple sessions, he's like, oh, we good.
I owe you.
Wow. I love that.
You know what? It's like I'm not Sony Records, you know, and I really want to give Victor the best exposure that I can, because he's gonna be a big star just because of his voice, you know. And he's great with his writing. His writing's impeccable. So between his voice and his writing, he ain't gonna ever be starving, man.
Look, my head's getting bigger.
Yeah.
You know, we're coming up. We're getting close to 6 o'clock. So what I'd love to do right now is kind of hand it over to Jeff Benjamin to drive the lightning round.
Yep.
Right.
All right.
Answer as fast as you can, and then let's see what we learn.
Are you good, Jeff? I saw you pounding in the background. Are you okay? You ready to do this, man?
I'm ready to roll. You ready? These are going to be tough. All right. Musical inspiration growing up.
My family. I grew up in a family of musicians.
Yeah, for me, it's my mother and my family as well, for sure. My mom sang opera, and my uncles all sing, and my brother sings, my wife sings, my daughter sings, everybody sings, so that's it.
Yeah, my grandfather's a multi-instrumental. He had a terrible voice, so that's on my dad's side. My dad and my mom both sing beautifully, but my dad's got a rotten cabbage ear. He can't stay in tune forever, but his voice is beautiful. When he's on key, boy, he's great. And then my mom's brothers both played guitar and sang, and we learned when we were like 10 years old. We jammed with them, and that's how me and my brother learned music.
That's awesome. Mike, did I hear you say on that Universal Groove interview that your mom used to sing all the time and embarrass the hell out of you?
Oh yeah, man. Bro, be walking through the market and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm seeing her, mom." She'd be singing like Carpenter's records, which are cool, but I mean, it's just like she'd be singing that, and she'd be singing like Barbara Streisand. It's just, I love Barbara Streisand, but come on, mom, we're right here.
Hey man, Bacharach was huge in the grocery stores back then.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What are you listening to right now?
What kind of music?
Yeah.
I pretty much always listen to Northern Soul. Like if I go home, I play a lot of Northern Soul, a lot of mid-tempo soul. I love group harmony soul. When Vic came over the day, I just jammed out a bunch of group harmony soul.
Oh, beautiful.
He loves the group harmony soul. And
Any specific artists though that you're listening to right now?
Certain artists I'm listening to, man, just everybody. Like I'm really into 60s soul the most. Inspirations on Midas. I probably listen to that record at least 2 to 5 times a week. It's my favorite record. A lot of people have never checked it out. I'm actually
what record?
Inspirations on Midas.
Okay.
It's called Your Wish Is My Command, and the other side is I'll Take a Chance on You.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one to check out. Yeah, but back in the day, real quick story, it used to be a $150 record. Nowadays, you're probably going to pay $2,500 for that record, and it's not rare. There is hundreds of copies in the UK, but they hold them like really close, man. They're not going to let go, and they hate us Americans to get them, man. I got nothing. They don't want no Americans. Hey, mate, you're not bringing our records back to America. You're not.
That's a terrible
America
accent.
is warm.
Terrible.
America is very warm. We need those warm records to come back to us to keep us nice and warm in the dance floor.
Stop it. I'll just say this. I got ADHD. I think it's apparent to everybody now. I haven't had my medication today. I listen to everything, country music, metal, opera, classical, everything. I mean, just constantly listening to different stuff. But right now, I'm a songwriter, obviously, so I listen to a lot of songwriters. And right now, I'm bumping Carole King's Tapestry a bit much.
Classic album right there.
Yeah, because it's just,
wrong.
I mean,
From
it's raw
beginning to
dog.
end.
It's just her, the piano. It's just gorgeous, and she's gorgeous. And I mean, the music she created since the time she was a little thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Beautiful,
so that's what I'm doing.
Great.
I like this. I like
All
this. I put my head in there. I just did a show of him, Billy Stewart. It's a special I did. It was 3.5 hours of nothing but Billy Stewart record tribute to him because R.I.P. Beautiful man.
And
like
thank you to everybody who told me I sound like Billy Stewart on the
Wow,
YouTube page, because goddamn, I don't sound that good, but thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the kings right there.
Take the compliment. So, all right, last record you bought.
All right. What's that?
Which 20 did I buy from you, Nori? Or did you give me from my session? I don't even
What
remember.
record did you pay me with? Not the last record he paid you with. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the last record you
I
bought?
don't remember. I'll just say this. I remember I got Bootsy's Rubber Band up in there, and I think I picked up what is that? I picked up a War record. I can't remember which one I picked up though. And then I picked up like Allman Brothers and shit like that,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I have too many, favorite records. Just like for me to pick a favorite record. I looked at that.
No. Last record you bought.
Oh, last record I bought. The last record I bought was kind of expensive, man. I've been looking for I've been looking for a nice copy for a long time. I think I upgraded. It was a record by Shirley and Lee. It was called Shirley Come Back to Me. I'm pretty sure they're brothers and sisters from what I've read. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but they were a nice duet from the early 50s. It was just a nice R&B record I've been looking for a long time, and I didn't have a clean copy. And I'm gonna be selling off some of my doubles. I think I had 2 or 3 doubles, but they were all in lower shape. But Shirley and Lee, man, on Aladdin,
Surely come back to me.
Shirley come back to me. Yeah, check that out. And the flip side's a really good called Baby.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
I was really big into doo-wop first. That's when my roots of collecting 45s is all doo-wop records, every single one of them. I was really known more for doo-wop than anything else. I only became the soul guy in the 90s and the millennium. All my 80s days, I started out collecting just doo-wop. I only collected doo-wop, and I had to have a full group. It couldn't be 3 guys. It had to be 4 or more for me to even.
Well, let me ask you a question. You ever come across any Lori records?
Any what?
The label Lori Records.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
That's my godfather.
Oh, is that right? Nice.
Yeah, co-founded Lori Records.
Yeah,
Bob
the
Schwartz.
Jaguars.
Dion and the Belmonts. And
5 discs.
Chiffons.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's some doo-wop classics right there.
Yeah, that's my stuff, man. I love doo-wop. That's one of the main ways I learned how to sing was listening to those doo-wop records.
Yes, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, that was my godfather, Lori Records. That's cool. So, all right, wow. Favorite album of all time?
Victor.
I just want to give a shout out to Mimi Vinyl, and also say that that's like a loaded question, man. That's just favorite album of all time. I mean, hard to answer, but I'll tell you about in my estimation, a perfect album. To me is Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. Not only because of the way the tracks slide into one another, the way they all fit so cohesively, the theme of the record, the social justice message of ecology and how people are struggling and striving. I just don't think that record will ever as long as there's humans, that record's relevant, and it's gorgeous. And just talking about it makes me want to cry because that record is so beautiful. It makes me cry every fucking time because it hits me in my soul. And Marvin Gaye is my favorite singer. I love Marvin Gaye, and that's I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, just as relevant today as it was back then. And I mean, unfortunately, but like,
yeah, we always gonna be fucking up. That's what I'm saying. As long as there's people, it's gonna be that record gonna be something.
That's awesome album.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with my 50 stuff. My favorite album of all time. I play it cover to cover every single time and never let it off. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers.
Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Okay, yeah. I'll have to check that one out. All right.
Yeah, brother. You listen to Frankie and that group sing, man. There's no mistakes. It's just absolute.
That's awesome.
Better than sex, brother. At least sex.
I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but 45 or LP?
What's that?
Nori,
45 or LP?
Oh, of course, 45s for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys guess? You said
I knew Mike was going to say 45. Vic, I'm not sure. I'm guessing maybe a 45 as well. But I'm not.
No, brother, I'm lazy. I want that shit to play for a minute.
He's lazy.
Right.
I don't want to be running back and forth too many times, dude. I got shits to do.
Yeah.
I got kids, man. That's
my whole year, all the years of
45s are killing me.
I have a few albums.
Yeah. Well, that's so Vic.
Speaking of which, where can I get one of those little chingaderas? Remember they used to stick them on the thing and they used to drop the records?
Oh, I saw the Sincere still have one of those. They were posting in the videos, automatically switching them and all this.
Who does? Who got that?
The Sinceres.
eBay.
Huh?
I almost bought one. There's a guy that like restores them, and he gives like a 1-year warranty. And I think he was charging like $300+, but this was a beautiful player. Yeah. If I find the link, I'll message you because I was really tempted.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I want like I said, I ain't lying when I say I'm lazy. I mean, that shit.
I got 3 kids. I can't be flipping records like that.
We have the technology, or we had it.
We had it. Yeah, exactly. All right. Black or color vinyl?
Colored.
Yeah, colored for me too.
All right.
Us minorities like shiny shit, man.
Well, because when I collected doo-wop 45s, if you had the rare doo-wop 45, you had it on the red plastic. And people were like, well, no, red plastic doesn't bootleg. Like, nah, man. Like, red plastic existed in the 50s.
I
see
saw
you,
you post one
Waxvillain.
a few weeks
WB.
ago that looked fire. I was like, wow, that's an old red record right
Yeah,
there.
the early chance pressings, the rare chance pressings, they're red wax, man. Like, they're the hardest way to get red wax.
That's awesome. All right, favorite color?
Green.
Black. Oh,
Would you say
green. It will
Mike?
be green. It will be green. He always stacking that cheese.
It's always been green since I was like
Such
fucking.
a great idea.
It's because you're half green gold.
There you go. That means I can cap on rednecks and Mexicanos. What you gonna do about it?
Ora.
All right, moving on. Favorite dessert?
Favorite what?
Favorite dessert?
Pie.
Pie.
Recently, creme brulee.
Yes.
Ooh, look at Mr. Fancy.
Fancy.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
That was
Okay. Favorite drink?
Booze.
tonic.
Booze and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
I just
All
said
right.
booze. I don't discriminate, homie.
Just
Except for that Cisco shit. I can't drink that. Not
Hey,
anymore.
I could just drink tonic water. I love tonic water.
all right. Favorite quote?
Quote or words you live by.
Don't have a drink for
Puppets
the
and
road.
clowns?
Don't have a drink for the road because the road is already laid out.
Here's my favorite quote. I've been living by this, and this goes out to Mimi Vinyl as well. Be a warrior, not a worrier.
I love that. That's
good.
That means a lot because I think the hardest person to face is the man in the mirror. So I love that quote. It resonates with me. I think that's awesome. Gentlemen, we're kind of coming to that end. I want to thank you so much. This was an awesome chat. I feel like, you know, all of our friends that watch this and those that haven't seen it, I'm so glad that this is recorded because you both dropped so many different gems of knowledge that we can go back and trace those roots, you know, with music. I just feel like this was a really special chat, and I thank you for that. I want you to know you guys are. Mike knows this. Vic, I want you to know you're part of the Waxvillain family. Anything I can ever do to help you.
Oh, we lost Vic.
Wow.
He just cut out early. He goes, "That's it for me."
Probably his battery died.
It could, but Mike, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you've done for the scene. You continue to inspire me, to motivate me, and music that you're making is going to stand the test of time, and it's going to be one of the reasons why that ceiling collapses someday, that we're all kind of hoping for, you know, on this scene with the vinyl community. And it means so much to me. So thank you. Folks, please go ahead and follow 45 RPM Noriega Records. Hit them up. Look at their website. Stay tuned for what's coming because I'm telling you, I mean, everything that's happening is
My new record.
this is
This is cold.
We're gonna do all the things we've been wanting to do.
this
And
Good, man.
for you to open your heart before you need it, it's coming to you.
This is awesome, man.
I need you, baby.
Oh, Georgia shot.
You lovely lady. Ooh, you're such a beautiful sight. I wanna love you, baby. Come and drive us crazy. All night until you feel with this delight. Well, every time I see you.
Look at all that heat.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us, man. It was cool. Good time.
Yeah.
thank you so
Mike,
much.
thanks a lot.
All right, brother. You guys have a good day.
Take care.
Let's out.
That was fantastic.
Another one in the books, man.
Yo, I can't believe all the different like names they dropped. You know, it was almost like I wanted to write it down on my scratch pad because I need to watch this back. I want to go kind of chase some of those records and see what they're talking
Yeah,
about. I'm actually really upset with you. I've been talking to you every day for a year, and you never tell me about
I
this.
did. I did tell you that. You don't listen, man. I did. How many times? Just like the Penrose comp. Took you a couple of times for it to sink in, for sure. But no, that was huge, man. To have Mike Noriega and Bad Vic from Los Yesterdays. I mean, that Penrose comp was. I mean, for the to get us through. Hell, I mean, that was the soundtrack to the pandemic. You know, like just like the Coal Mine record was as well. But like right at the start, that dropped, and man, we needed those tunes, you know, then more than ever, for sure. So, a shining star in an otherwise dark time, that Penrose comp was Los Yesterdays.
I can't believe that they're actually dropping like the comp as an LP.
That's what did I say? That was my dream. I was like, I cannot wait. They got to do it. I couldn't believe it took that long. And 3 Los Yesterdays records are on that comp too, which is awesome.
The Penrose one?
Yeah, there's going to be 3 Los Yesterdays tracks on there. I think it's going to be Time, Nobody's Clown, and then the B-side of that, Give Me One More Chance. Was it Give Me One More Chance?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm stoked for that, man. I want to thank you so much. This one was a dream come true for me to do this with you. I think that we're going to have to kind of light up the special edition for 2 Gentlemen and a Turntable moving forward on some sort of cadence. But I definitely want to get back to you and I talking greasy, showing cool records, things that are on the shelf back here. You know, 'cause that's kind of the whole idea behind it. Showing, sharing, playing, and kind of, you know, helping our friends navigate through these different genres and find really cool records. And for me, I just thought there were so many cool stories, like the idea of how that video came about, right? And studio sessions and everything like that. You can't read that, right? It's not online. So I think we really nailed it with, you know, just the way that we drove this chat tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, right. No, not to keep it going, but like the really cool thing about that is just, again, you see I forgot the guy who directed the video, but he was locked down in LA because his plans got canceled. Vic's plans got canceled because of the pandemic, and it just turned into this like creative vacuum. And I think the same thing, I wanted to ask Mike Noriega about this too, if that contributed to the output that they've had. But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy, those little nuggets that we pick up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. I think we had like, I don't know, 20 plus for like almost the entire hour. So it means a lot that you would tune in and kind of stick around. I understand why it was really cool to kind of get to meet Mike and Vic kind of in a different setting than we're used to, which is just kind of seeing posts and texts and maybe little snippets. But very good stuff. I'm out, man. Waxvillain, Seattle, Washington. Jeffrey Benjamin, some undisclosed location in a cave.
I'm in the cave somewhere. All right. See you, man. Bye.